How's it going, Star Seekers? My name's Luke and welcome back once more to the channel, where today we're going to be taking a look at Induction on the Nintendo Switch. It's an exceedingly tricky abstract puzzle game which sees you meddling with the laws of time and space as you guide your little cube across multiple timelines, trying to reach the end goal whilst wrapping up any loose ends. Now, if just thinking about the concepts of time travel makes your brain hurt, then Induction might just melt it down into its component parts. But if you're up for a challenge, then join me in this review, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to be notified of future reviews. So Induction comes to us from the mind of a man called Brian Gale, and it actually released way back in 2017, but has just made the leap to the Switch, where it's available for £6.19 on the UK eShop and $8.99 on the US eShop. Now, due to this being a puzzle game and the levels being singular instances with unique solutions, I'm going to be keeping this review relatively short, but it should give you enough of an idea of whether or not the game is for you. So at its most basic level, the objective in Induction is to guide your cube through various levels, utilising time loop mechanics in order to reach the white marker. Gameplay is experienced from an isometric perspective, with the movement of your cube being handled with either the left analog or D-pad, and while this generally works quite well, it can be a bit of a pain when you're trying to move quickly. Now, the first few levels of Induction run you through a few simple gameplay mechanics such as moving your cube, pushing barrels onto switches to activate them, and you also get your first taste of the game's time travel mechanics. After moving your cube around, a tap of the A button will initialise a time loop in which a copy of your cube will repeat the actions which you previously performed, and utilising this ability, you're able to activate switches or manipulate the position of barrels with your duplicate cube, using it to create pathways to the exit for your other cube. Now, if all of this has already confused you, then don't worry too much. The game starts off relatively easy when you're learning these basic mechanics and shouldn't give you too much trouble while working through its first levels, but believe me, the difficulty quickly ramps up, and after about 10 or so levels you're going to be working with multiple timelines, and every single level really makes you think about how exactly you're going to be able to solve them. Some of the levels see you transferring control between cubes from different timelines, and many of them force you to think about how your cubes are going to be moving a couple of timelines into them, but one of the most challenging aspects is working out how to close the time loops in each level. See, whenever you perform a set of actions and initialise a time loop, a dotted line will then draw the path which you previously took. The new cube will then follow this path, but if at any point the path is broken and the cube is unable to finish its route, then the timeline will remain open and the exit to the level won't spawn. So Induction contains a total of 50 levels for you to master. These become progressively more difficult as you work your way around this unusual looking level selector, and at certain points, additional levels will branch off from the main circuit, which usually feature a different set of mechanics or rules. I was able to work my way around most of the inner circle without too much of an issue, but I did find many of the branching levels much tougher, and I've still yet to complete a few of them, but I'm reluctant to betray my brain and look at a guide. So I did say this review was going to be a short one, and I am going to be wrapping it up here, but I'll close with my final thoughts on the game. When it comes to the visuals, I liked the minimalistic approach, and I thought the isometric perspective worked well, especially for levels with multiple floors in them. On the audio side of things, the ambient electronic soundtrack fits the game well, and it sits nicely in the background and doesn't break your concentration when you're focusing on the task at hand. Now, I'm a big fan of puzzle games, and I'm usually able to solve most of the puzzles that I encounter with relative ease, but I actually found myself puzzling over many of Induction's levels for quite some time. If you're more into simple puzzle games where the rules are pretty clear and they focus on a singular puzzle element, then Induction might be a bit too much for you to handle. But if you're looking for a real challenge and some uniquely crafted puzzles requiring some real thought, then I highly recommend giving Induction a go. When it comes to my own personal rating of the game, I'm going to be giving Induction 4 out of 5 stars. Induction is an ingeniously simple but devilishly difficult puzzler with some extremely well thought out puzzles, and it'll put the brains of even the most seasoned of puzzle veterans to the test. And that about wraps up this review of Induction on the Nintendo Switch. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this review or it helped you out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comments section below. And if you enjoy this content and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.